Welcome to Inspiring Women, Pauline.
Thank you very much for having me.
The pleasure's ours. Tell us about yourself in your own words. How would you describe yourself?
Let's see, when somebody asks me, who are you, Pauline? Actually, I always describe myself twice. There's Pauline and then there's Pauline Long.
Okay.
Yes. Pauline, I think the people that know me personally sort of know Pauline. You know, very simple, laid back, and, you know, just take things easy. You know, my children actually walk all over me. But Pauline Long is that, you know, is that community leader, you know, the giver, you know, the one that wants to see unity, you know, the one that brings people together, the one that wants to see people go to the next level. So that's Pauline Long, yes.
Okay, so what's your passion? You know, what's the story behind Pauline Long? Is it Pauline that's behind Pauline Long?
What's the story behind Pauline that's with Pauline Long? Yeah,
yes.
That's an interesting question. Right, I am driven by, you know, the fact that I'm a human being, humanity, you know, human love. But the one thing that people always ask, what inspires me, is when I wake up in the morning and I find myself alive. It's like, you know, champagne popping party. You know, I want to pop champagne. Like, hello, I'm alive today.
Wow.
You know, for me, that's the biggest celebration, to go out there and do what I can do in 24 hours. And what I do in the 24 hours is love, live, achieve, and serve others. Anything else in between is total nonsense.
So
you know,
love, live, achieve,
and serve others.
and serve others.
That's it. I want to die serving others. That's
Wow.
it. Yes.
Wow. Because I've seen the write-ups you have on Facebook about supporting other people, being passionate about one's calling.
Yes.
How did you find your calling, and how would you describe your own calling then?
My calling is of human love, you know, just serving others. That's my calling. I think when you start doing something, like when I started doing the pageant, the Miss East Africa UK, I wanted to do it to bring East Africans together. I wanted to give back. So for me, when I started doing it, I thought, okay, you're just doing it once, and then, you know, do it once, find it difficult, and then have a break. No. I found myself doing it again and again and again and again, and I branched out to do other things. And of course, I started the BEFFTA as well, which is a community project, brings people together. And I've just recently started my Pauline Long Mentoring and Empowerment Club.
Yeah.
You know, again, it's almost like an addiction, but then I found out that it's actually not an addiction, it's a calling. You're answering your call. You know, so my call is serve the community, serve till I die. You know?
At great expense, at great personal expense, because I've noticed that some of your projects are self-funded.
Yes. They're self-funded, but the money doesn't belong to my coffin.
Okay.
The money doesn't belong to me when I die.
That's profound.
The money belongs up here. So for me, I don't mind. I don't mind self-funding. Why am I working? To build a mansion? I've got a roof on top of my head. My children go to one of the best schools in the county where I live. You know, I drink water every day. You know, I don't need any extra, you know, any luxury. You know, I'm not really a luxurious person, even though I come from a tribe, you know, that people are very posh and luxurious, and, you know, the Luo tribe in Kenya. If I can just mention, you know, I share the same tribe with Obama.
Wow.
And Lupita Nyong'o. So we're kind of like from the same village. And
you're high achievers. There's something in the blood, or maybe it's in the water.
Something in the water, something in the blood, but also the way you were brought up. You're brought up kind of like, they like bling, they like a lot of, but I'm not like that. So for me, giving back is something that's very easy for me. You know, self-funding is very easy. I will work hard to go and fund the projects that give back. You know, that's why I'm working. You know, I always, you know, tell my husband as well that all these things I'm doing, running a film studio and all the other things I'm doing that are making money, I'm not doing them so that we can have a mansion in the end. I'm doing them so that I can fund all the charitable things that I'm doing, all the community projects that I'm doing, because that's the legacy I want to leave, you know.
That's interesting, because a lot of people think the only way you can run charitable projects is by applying for funding or grants or sponsorship.
It will never come.
Yeah.
It's like civilians are always blaming the government. The government's not providing this, not providing that. The government will never come. Same with people that run charities. The funding will never come. If you're so passionate about giving, you're so passionate about feeding street children, go and find an extra job. Take some of the money, feed the street children. Do your bit. It's like do your little bit, and let's all meet in some junction.
So what would you say to that mom or woman out there who wants to be charitable but is constrained by finances, by responsibilities, by her children? What would you say to that woman out there?
What I always say is giving back is not just financial.
Okay.
You can give back your wisdom. You can give back, you can give back your life, your presence somewhere to volunteer. It's not always money. There's always something. Nobody's poor. You're not poor. You might be financially poor, but spiritually you're not poor. Surely you can give.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wealth is not just limited to finances.
No. Finance is for the bank managers. You understand? But you can give. You can give without giving money. You can give a lot without giving money.
I always say that sometimes it just might be your wealth of experience that you have as a mother that will encourage a new mother. There are things that we can share, pass from one to another. That knowledge, that wisdom.
Yes.
Even if it's just life skills.
Yes.
How to interview, how to address the public, how to do different things. There are knowledge that we can share from one person to another.
That's giving back because sometimes you have to pay. Yeah. You have to pay somebody to teach you how to present or do stuff. But if somebody else comes, if I come and I teach you, I'm giving you something. Yeah. That's giving back.
Okay, so tell us about your studios, the Eastern Studios.
Eastern Studios is an exciting project that I started about 4 years ago. Okay. And of course, I've been running the pageant and the BEFFTAs. And I thought, I was spending a lot of money in London, hiring venues, costing 10 grand plus. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to find my own venue.
Okay.
This is a crazy idea. I want to own a venue, and do my own events, but also invite the community to do their events here.
Okay.
But then I found that finding a place in London was like climbing this Mount Kilimanjaro. It was just almost impossible.
Yeah.
The places were not there. But I came across this place that was almost derelict. And I remember me and my husband going in, and with the children as well. My husband always calls me crazy because I just do things. I just say I want to do that, and he says, no, you can't do it because you haven't got the skills. And I always tell him, no, I'll do it even though I haven't got the skills. Yes, I can. So we went in there and he said, listen, Pauline, this is one of your crazy ideas to come here in the first place, to come and view this derelict place. This will not make a venue because first of all, there's a school next door and there's some, houses as well, housing next door. And it's too derelict, basically. There's nothing you can do here. I said, you know what? Don't worry. We're going to come back to this place, but we're coming back to it not as a venue, but as a film studio. And he said, so now you come from organizing a beauty pageant to award ceremony, and now the film industry, which you don't know nothing about.
Wow. Yeah.
I said, yes, I don't know, but in the next few days, I will know.
Wow. Yeah.
And so that was it. We got a website. I said, get me that website. We got the name, Eastern Studios. Get me easternstudios.co.uk. And that's it. Let's go for it. And I remember showing my first client, and some of the terminologies were just like, okay, what did he just say?
You Google it. Google is your friend.
Yeah, I just Googled very quickly. Yeah. I became very friendly, with Google. But it even helped my husband, because my husband is an IT software engineer. Okay. But then he had to learn the film industry as well, and he's one of the best gaffers in the industry now.
Wow.
Everybody calls for him, and that's how I run a film studio, and I became a producer as well, music video producer and director. Faking it till you make it.
Wow. Yeah. I think that's amazing. So you saw something, you saw a venue, you had a vision at the back of your mind, and then you went for it.
Yes. I said, you know what? I can turn the unknown into known. It's unknown, but I want to go in there and come out with the knowledge. So I went in there not knowing anything about film industry.
Wow.
Now I've come out knowing film industry. I mean, I didn't even know the names of some cables and things. You know,
Wow.
now I'm just like, well, you know, when do you want to be you know, even though I have staff, but I still, you know, want to get really involved so that I know more. It's just about learning every day. Yeah. And hopefully very soon I'll be producing and directing my first movie.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. When we come back, Pauline will talk to us about time management and how she manages a very busy schedule. We'll be right back. Talked about how you started from being a volunteer and now you're a Lord.
Yeah, I'm not sure the two are connected, but yeah, I started volunteering. I volunteered in a housing co-op actually in Newham, and yeah, it taught me an awful lot. And I would recommend volunteering for everybody. Really, it's a good way in. It's a good way of understanding what really happens in your community and in the world.
How has Johnny been from being an air hostess to
a
not so secret millionaire?
I know. I think the secret millionaire story is almost, I won't say an aside, but I think it was just to try and bring out an understanding to people to say what your dreams are like. You know, we can create our world of possibilities. We have the remarkable ability within us, and so it's up to us.
A different type of product, a more community-based product, where you can interact with Jamaicans in the communities, experience the local cuisine within the communities, and speak with folks and have a truly cultural experience.
What's the motivation behind the work that you do?
I was brought up under the Catholic Church, and since I was young, I used to admire the nuns and the priests, thinking they are there to save the world, to save humanity from self-destruction.
Now, when it comes to physical infrastructure, I think so far Malawi is reasonably serviced in that area, particularly in terms of road infrastructure.
You might obtain the promise. Let us be patient. We learn patience, we learn resilience, so that after we've gone through what we've gone through, we can be able to say to someone else, you know what, I've gone through this. It was hard, it was tough. But if I was able to overcome it, then you would do better. You're welcome back to Inspiring Women. Today we have Pauline Long, who is a community leader, TV host, presenter, entrepreneur. Well, she wears many hats. I wonder how she does it. Can you tell us about your schedule and how you manage your very busy schedule with being a mother?
Well, you know, we have 24 hours in a day, and what you do with the 24 hours is up to you. Because I have two children, 11-year-old and 8, I actually just work around my children's program, period. Okay. If the Queen asked me today to go for tea at Buckingham Palace, what I would do is I would, first of all, check the diary, my children's diary. And if the diary said that, you know what, 4 p.m. you need to be with the children, and at the same time the Queen is asking me to go for tea at Buckingham Palace at 4 p.m, I'll call the Queen and say, I'm sorry, the children take lead. Wow. You know, so I basically just work around my children. I do everything around their timetable. And I found that with that, everything falls into place.
Okay, so your children come first all the time.
Children come first.
No matter what it is.
No matter what it is.
Yeah.
Children will always come first. While they're at school, they 10 hours, 8 hours at school, I fit so many things in. While they're sleeping, I fit so many things in. So they come first. I cannot interrupt their timetable.
Wow. So what I understand is your family comes first, your children come first, no matter what it is.
No matter what it is, the children will always come first. I will always look at the children's timetable and compare with everything else that I do. And if something is clashing with the children's timetable, I will say, sorry, not today. Let's reschedule. I will find, so I found that this is why I don't struggle. I mean, I don't struggle with fitting everything in. I get a lot of people telling me, Pauline, you do so many things.
Yeah.
What time do you spend with your children? I mean, I can't spend time with my children when they're at school. Somebody else is looking after them. Yeah. So all those 8 hours, I'm doing something. I'm doing something productive. When they're sleeping, I'm doing something productive.
And I was going to ask you about how you support other people, because I see that you're very supportive. You give to projects, you help people, you mentor women. How are you able to decide how you support women and then the projects that you do?
How I'm able to decide is I do a lot of research on the internet.
Okay.
Some of these projects I approach them. For instance, I am ambassador for Melkosh Mission, which is a charity that supports amputees in Sierra Leone. And I was doing research to support a charity that I just approached. A lot of these charities approach me, which I say yes, I'll become your ambassador. I'll support as much as I can with money, with events, with spreading the word. But I wanted to find this one charity that I can just go and approach and say, look, I like what you're doing. I want to be part of it. I want to be in this family. And of course, what Melkosh Mission does is absolutely amazing. Amazing woman, Faith, she gave up her daytime job to support these amputees in Sierra Leone. She doesn't need to walk alone. She needs me. So I decided to get involved. I'm also involved with the charity Shai Foundation, which supports orphans in Haiti. Again, a very, very well dedicated woman started this mission. She cannot do it alone. That's where I come in. I get a lot of people asking me, Pauline, why don't you start your own charity, your own foundation? I'm like, there are so many charities and foundations that I can support, and it's still the same people, still going to the same place. So why don't I put myself in there and support? So I'm not discriminative. I can support as many as, and if they can contact me on Facebook or contact my management, I always say yes. If it's giving back, if it's giving back, I will be there. If it's not giving back, please do not put my name near it, because I won't be there.
Final question is about people who are already running projects or have their own charities and they're finding it difficult and they want to quit. You have a message that you always say, don't quit. It's your calling, it's your life, it's your legacy. What would you say to that woman or man who is finding it really difficult, especially if you're self-funding the projects? What would you say to that person?
There is a reason why you started that project. You have a why, and you have to revisit your why every time. Anytime you feel like you want to put your tools down and give up, revisit your why. Why did you start this project? You had a great excitement when you started. And of course, sometimes the excitement can reduce because of the challenges that you go through. But tell you what, I know sometimes people say I'm crazy. I'm a challenge lover, because when you finish with the challenge, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And what I say is, it's your life, it's your calling, it's your legacy, and it's all yours. It's nobody else's, it's yours. You cannot transfer it to me, you cannot transfer it to anybody else. It's your own calling, so never quit, never quit.
Even if it's difficult, even if you can't pay the bills, even if you're finding it difficult, really, really difficult, continue.
The world has 7.1 billion people. Surely one of 7.1 billion people is going to support you. You're never going to be alone. You're never, ever going to walk alone. There's always somebody there. So never, ever give up for what you believe in. Stand up for what you believe in, because at the end of the day, you don't want anybody erasing your name. You got to leave your stamp. You were born to do it.
You host a very popular show on Ben TV, the Pauline Long Show. Can you tell us about it?
Well, the Pauline Long Show is a live show that goes worldwide, and it's on Sky Channel 182 Ben TV every Tuesday and Wednesday from 1 o'clock to 2 p.m. We're live. You can give me a call, and if you don't like what I'm wearing, or if you don't like what the guest is saying on the panel, you know, there's always a number there. Give us a call. We talk about everything. We support charities, we support events, we talk about world issues, current issues, anything and absolutely everything. So please stay tuned.
So thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure having you on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me. And you know what? This show is awesome.
Well, thank you for saying that. We've been endorsed by Pauline Long. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Talk about how you started from being a volunteer and now you're a Lord.
Yeah, I'm not sure the two are connected, but yeah, I started volunteering. I volunteered in a housing co-op actually in Newham, and yeah, it taught me an awful lot. And I would recommend volunteering for everybody. Really, it's a good way in. It's a good way of understanding what really happens in your community and in the world.
How has Johnny been from being an air hostess to
a
not so secret millionaire?
I know. I think the secret millionaire story is almost, I won't say an aside, but I think it was just to try and bring out an understanding to people to say what your dreams are like. You know, we can create our world of possibilities. We have the remarkable ability within us, and so it's up to us.
A different type of product, a more community-based product, where you can interact with Jamaicans in the communities, experience the local cuisine within the communities, and speak with folks and have a truly cultural experience.
Drives you. What's the motivation behind the work that you do?
I was brought up under the Catholic Church, and since I was young, I used to admire the nuns and the priests, thinking they are there to save the world, to save humanity from self-destruction.
Now, when it comes to physical infrastructure, I think so far Malawi is reasonably serviced in that area, particularly in terms of road infrastructure.
You might obtain the promise. Let us be patient. We learn patience, we learn resilience, so that after we've gone through what we've gone through, we can be able to say to someone else, you know what, I've gone through this. It was hard, it was tough, but if I was able to overcome it, then you do